Many people think that they're doing something wrong when Aikido feels confusing. But confusion is actually part of the learning process. In today's video, we're going to look at why that's normal and what's actually happening to make it feel confusing. We're going to talk about which learns first, the body or the mind. And we're going to talk about why forcing clarity too early slows progress. Let's dive in. So the first point, the first reason why everything might feel confusing to you when you've just started Aikido is that we're breaking old habits, ideally, and we're building new ones. So not only is the brain a little bit confused and in new territory, but the body is too. So everything is being broken down so that it can be rebuilt. You can't rely on strength anymore, for example. So I always feel sorry for the biggest guy in my dojo or my seminar classes because he can make people fall down without Aikido oftentimes. And so he doesn't get as strong a feedback. And I always consider myself lucky. I'm about 5'4" and about 130 pounds. So a lot of times there's many people who are bigger than me in the dojo. So I get immediate feedback if I tighten up, right? Actually, I guess I should say more accurately that we can't use just force against force. So of course we use our strength, never throw away the strength, but a healthy version of it. So without the tension and without trying to force things. Any good athlete tries to make their movement strong, powerful, but smooth. So that's what we're working on in a whole new context. So of course it would feel confusing. Hey, sorry to interrupt the video, but some of you have been asking how you can get a copy of my book, The Teacher. The book includes topics such as from horse riding to Budo, the Japan experience, back home, building intuition, attracting new students to Aikido, nonviolence in Aikido, leading by example, women in Aikido, arrogance, no to homogenization in Aikido, Aikido and distance teaching, body alignment, more. If you haven't yet purchased it and you'd like to, just head to leah-suzuki.com/book, or you can find that link in the description here on YouTube. The book is available in English and Italian. If you want it in Italian, you've got to go to Amazon. There's plenty of really cool photos. There's me when I first started Aikido, even before I got to Boston, which is where my first teacher is. Also Takeda Shihan, Bill Gleason Sensei, my first teacher, and for those of you who might know him, Gary Small Sensei, taking ukemi long ago. Another of Takeda Shihan, Yamaguchi Sensei. All right. We've got a couple of me teaching seminars, of course. And then even one with me with explaining something with Shoto. This is in the No to Homogenization section. As I said, the link is in the description below. Just click on that, go to leah-suzuki.com/book and order yours. Let's get back to the video now. The familiar patterns. Maybe you're not aware of something that you do in your normal day-to-day life. Maybe you're the type of person that walks down the sidewalk and you're looking down. And then you come to the dojo and you're training with your partner, they're grabbing your wrist, you're looking down, which almost every human being, when they look down, their posture suffers a little bit, all right? So maybe you weren't aware of that, and you weren't aware of how strong of an influence that could be. So you discover these things. Your familiar patterns don't work anymore, or at least some of them. And the body doesn't know what to replace them with. So I was just telling a student just the other night that I was a regular member in 2 different dojos before I found who I credit as my first teacher, Bill Gleason Sensei. I went to Bill Sensei's dojo and said, yeah, I did a little bit of Aikido and I can do forward rolls and this and that. And then I joined the dojo and I did some forward rolls. He had real tatami. And the tatami that I had trained on were really soft before that. And so again, I guess cumulatively, I had been traveling a lot. I think I had about 2 years of Aikido at that point. I could roll anywhere. I was fine. And then I took a roll on his tatami mats. I was like, oh, ow. So I had to refine my movement. I had no idea that my rolls still needed some improvement. I was 6Q. What did I know? So anyway, we have to replace certain movements, even just make them an eighth of an inch different or something. The other point, why you are confused or about confusion in Aikido, and why it's beneficial. The mind is slower than the body. The mind learns more slowly than the body. It's one of the most popular analogies is the baby touches the hot stove. They pull their hand away immediately. And if we had to make a conscious decision about pulling our hand away from the hot stove, it would be a little bit slower. I think everybody would agree to that. So cognitive understanding lags behind experience. And this, I think, is one of the beauties of Aikido. It keeps you completely present. Your mind can't wander. And it's immediate feedback. You get that information immediately. The nervous system needs repetition, not explanation. So again, we want to build reflexes. We want to build movement that is as smooth as when you go to the doctor and they tap your knee, right? They tap your knee and your foot kicks up. That's the kind of movement we want to make. Of course, we have to start from somewhat of a conscious place and think about the mechanics of it, but not too much. Most beginners want to go into the mechanics too much. And if they start to move with a good uke, then their body will learn the mechanics before the brain learns it. If you've been watching my videos, you've probably noticed that I sometimes use shoto, or short sword. I find that it helps students drop their shoulders, stop pushing, and really feel the technique. Right now, I have a limited number of these Suzuki signature shoto available. They're made in Japan from premium Japanese white oak. They're engraved with my signature, and they're really beautifully balanced. Because of the lumber shortage in Japan, I was only able to get a small batch of them. So once these are gone, that's it for the time being. So if you'd like one, click the link below to reserve yours. During the checkout process, you'll be prompted to let me know which seminar you'll attend, and then I'll bring it right to you. Now let's get back to the video. So again, the nervous system needs repetition and experience, not explanation. This is the reason why watching and feeling matter so much. Feeling is just like when you go to the hot stove, right? You get information through touch. So watching and feeling, those are the big ones. And if I had to rank them between each other, feeling. The next time you go to a seminar or even in your regular class, are you sitting like in the front, and are you sitting like you're sitting on a spring so that your sensei will notice, oh wow, he or she is really ready to jump up and take ukemi from me. Oh, okay. Are you sitting like that? It's proactive. Being chosen to take ukemi is not luck or the teacher having favorites. Well, I can only speak for myself as a teacher. When I'm teaching, sometimes I just get a feeling over here in my peripheral vision, over there, that there's some energy. And it's like a magnet. My attention is like really being pulled. So I'm here throwing somebody. Those of you who have come to my seminars, you know that when I teach a technique or a concept, I like to choose one uke and then choose another uke and another, all one. I don't usually use the same uke for one teaching and then say go ahead. I like to use a bunch. So sometimes I'm in the middle of explaining and showing, with this one uke and I get this feeling over here and I'm like, it's a magnet. And then I turn and sure enough, this person is like ready to jump up and come at me. And then I get to show it in a different context. I just showed it with the tall person. Now here's the short person. I didn't even know who it was, but I just turned and said, "Hai, onegaishimasu." And now when they're running at me, I find out who it is. That's the best, by the way. That's the best teaching. I love teaching that way when I've got a couple people in there like that. No, when I've got tons of people in there like that. You've got to feel it. When you feel it, oh my gosh, that's gold. So even if you're thinking like, oh, my knee is messed up, or I'm too old to be one of the main ukes, sit there as if you're sitting on a spring and see if your sensei will call on you for ukemi. Yeah, if you come to my seminar and you sit, if it's really, really a lot of people at my seminar, when I have like 40, 50 people or more, then if you're sitting in the back, even if you're sitting on a spring, it's a little bit more difficult for me to kind of find you. But if you sit in the first row, for sure, and you're like this, I'll notice you. If I don't, come over to me at lunch or dinner and say like, "Hey man, you said on that video you would notice me," and you didn't, okay? And then I'll try to be more aware. But most likely you won't have to do that. Most likely I'll notice you. So feel it, feel it, feel it. Take as much ukemi as you can. Yeah? And if it's with a teacher who's worth their salt, um, and you're nervous, like, oh my gosh, I'm 70 years old and my hip, this and that, that teacher will probably notice as soon as you touch them and they'll adjust and take care of you. The third thing I want to mention, forcing clarity too early slows progress. Oh my gosh, the Western mind is just going to explode on that. When you break something down, you go, okay, the left foot is going to be here, the right foot, and then 45 degrees and 90 degrees and this and that. Then you turn at this speed. What happens when you do that is that then the person goes, ah, got it, because they got it here. They understand it here. But the body doesn't understand it yet, right? When you have to retrieve information from your memory or find it again, the body or the brain learns it more deeply. Fewer and fewer neurons are involved in reproducing that movement. The whole time I was in Japan, every now and then we would have a guest, a Western guest. There were all the time people were coming to see what was happening in our group. So many times there was a guest who, when we would go to the pub after class, they'd say, "Oh my gosh, you guys, I got it. I understand. I never could understand Nikkyo. And tonight I got it. I got Nikkyo," or whatever. And the senpai would go like, "Oh, great," and these guys who had trained for like, at that time, 25, 30 years, and we had trained 5 or 6. They were like, "Yeah, kampai, kampai. Now, forget it all." And that person who just had that epiphany was like, "What? Forget?" They go, yeah, forget it all so that you can learn it again. And they weren't talking about neurons or anything like that, but they knew that from their training. They knew. Break something down so that you can relearn it. Break it down again, relearn it. Break it down again, relearn it. And I've recently found out that this is the science behind this is that every time you relearn it, fewer neurons are involved. That's an oversimplified explanation. I'm not a scientist. Stay tuned, by the way, for a video that I've got coming up soon with Thomas Kristaller Sensei, who is a scientist and Aikidoka. Anyway, when you want these clear definitions and answers early on, there's this tension of right and wrong. And so it actually slows down your progress. And another thing that happens, this premature certainty, like, oh, I see, I got it because it's 90 degrees and it's this and it's that. This premature certainty blocks sensitivity. When you're searching for that answer and searching for that method, you have to be very sensitive to work your way through it and then find it. Then this ability or quality of staying open allows principles to settle in your body, right? So, and of course, for this, one of the best things that you can do is go to seminars and keep your training going. Watching videos like this one and watching action videos is great, but in-person training is really where you're going to get this stuff that I'm talking about right now. So really work to keep up your attendance. I always tell my students minimum 3 training days per week. That's where the magic happens. If you do 3 hours spread out over 3 training days, that's better. Better for your body and better for your Aikido than doing 1 day per week of 3 hours training. So stay tuned for more on the science behind that with that in that video with Thomas Sensei. In conclusion, confusion isn't failure. It's a sign that something deeper is reorganizing. So if you are feeling confused about your Aikido or you're uncomfortable with your confusion, let me know in the comments section. At the same time, if that's not you and you've been training long enough that you're like, I'm comfortable with the confusion, I'm good, let me know about that too. Put it in the comments section. For those of you who do want to train with me in person, I'll be teaching in Taiwan and Japan in March, also Orange County, California. And I'll be teaching in Europe in September. And I'm sorry, also the UK and Ireland in June. And then I've got some other seminars here and there, Montana. Check out my seminar schedule at leah-suzuki.com/seminars, and the link is below. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye-bye.